Mustard Back Heifers, welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now, because this is not the show for you. Now, what I'm going to talk about is something that's very tragic that recently happened. If I get the ages right, I believe it was a 12-year-old youngster who deleted her 8-year-old cousin over an iPhone. Yeah, some more of this nonsense, man. Yeah, man, let's go ahead and get into it. Hold on for 1 second. I pull it up on your screen, man. Life is stranger than fiction.
Welcome and thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored, and we appreciate you staying up late with us. First up on The Factor, we start off tonight's show talking about a grueling situation. A 12-year-old girl is accused of smothering and killing her 8-year-old cousin over an iPhone on July 15th in Humboldt, Tennessee. They were both visiting their grandmother's house. Now, according to the county's prosecutor, a security camera recorded the killing inside the bedroom the young girl shared. The recording shows the older child using bedding to suffocate her cousin as she slept in the top bunk. After the child died, the 12-year-old cleaned up the victim and repositioned her body in bed. We have with us to talk about this tonight, therapist Dr. Jasmine Boone and fathers Lewis Hunter. So
I just wanted y'all to hear that. That is horrible. Can you imagine the type of mentality that child had? And unfortunately, I think we're going to see more of this, because we see a lot of the youngsters being tried as adults now because they're doing such heinous things now. They don't have no love. They have no respect or value of life no more. And I don't know what it is. It's a spiritual sickness, in my humble opinion. At the same time, you have to put that into children. When you're a responsible adult or a responsible parent, you have to put that in them. You have to teach them things. You got to teach them that, hey, you got to value people like you value yourself, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, we're not living in that time no more. We're living in a time of degenerates, where degeneracy is starting before girls or young boys hit puberty. They are already, before she was 13, before most of these youngsters become teenage boys or girls, they are already walking around with the mindset of a deleter. Don't have a problem pulling the trigger. Don't have a problem doing something to you. Let's keep going.
Lewis, as a father, when you first read this story and saw the video reports, your thoughts about it?
I was shocked. I was shocked to the extent that I realized the world that we live in today. You know, the fact that you could have a 12 and 8-year-old fighting over an iPhone, cousins, mind you, at grandmother's house, and then have the 12-year-old kill her cousin and then come back and position the body and try to cover up what she had done. You know, that doesn't happen overnight. That's right. Not something, you know, you don't jump from, most juvenile crimes are property-related, burglary, vandalism, but you killed your cousin behind an iPhone. They need to lock her ass up.
And got back in the bed. And went to sleep.
You know, and I also read, I'm glad you mentioned that, because they said that they didn't find out until like a day or two later, I think.
They had to go watch the video.
The video.
Grandmother. And imagine what it was like for the grandmother to go and view that video for the first time.
But it also makes me question, why is there a camera in an 8-year-old's room? You know, a 12-year-old's room. You know, so there had to have been behavioral issues before that had not been addressed. And I'm sure that
I agree. There had to be some type of indicator of behavioral problems before this incident happened. But what I think happened is, after they seen these behavioral instances, seen that there was something wrong with the child, they didn't really try to pursue it. The kid just being a kid. You know how they are. They grow out of it. I think that's what it was. I don't think they didn't really take it serious enough. That's why you got an 8-year-old infant out of there, because of that.
Or that had not been addressed. And I'm sure they're going to scream mental health and, you know, all this other mess. And I'm curious to know what sort of mental health issues or therapy that she may have had before this.
All right, Dr. Jasmine Boone, your thoughts on this disturbing situation?
It's so unfortunate, and it's so, like, no one wins. Poor grandma, poor moms that lost both of their babies one way or the other. But, you know, we don't know. You know, according to the article and news, there's no speculation of mental health issues. So ruling that out, we do have to take into consideration that this girl, this 12-year-old, her brain is not fully developed, right?
I don't want to hear that. I think today's society love to give people participation trophies and give them passes for bad behavior, man. It doesn't make any sense. Everything is not mental health. There's a such thing as wicked people. And yes, wicked people can begin showing or displaying actions of a wicked person at a young age. A lot of men and women, if you look, the ones who are like Ted Bundy, people that stalk people just to unalive them later, who is a serial unaliver, who hunt victims and prey on women. If you look at their profile, how they grew up, most times they displayed these type of horrible actions first. They were mutilating animals, they was torturing animals, they were doing things that was not the norm, okay? So it's a good thing that they caught this 12-year-old before it got out of hand, because that 12-year-old could have easily became a black widow, a woman who baits men in and then cause those men to lose their lives because she wanted their money or something like that. Yeah, where do you think people are good for 20 years and then on the 21st birthday they just snap and turn, hey, you know what, I'm finna go ahead and delete everybody. No, this is a progression of bad things, okay? And they got lucky that they had a camera in their room, because if they had no camera, they would have thought that little child just, passed away from natural causes. Meanwhile, that 12-year-old who was cunning enough to reposition the body, cover the body up after she did the deed, and then get in her bed and go to sleep and wake up in the morning, eat Fruit Loops as if nothing happened. Oh yeah, it's a good thing that camera was there, because that 12-year-old youngster would have did it again and again and again. You would have been I think you're looking at a serial killer in the making. That's what I think you were looking at. So everything ain't mental health. Everything ain't mental. The reason why she act like this. The reason why he act like that is because something wrong with them. You don't let them take accountability. Don't punish them. Tell that to the victim. Tell that to the victim. Parents, tell that to the victim's family and friends, that you don't think they should be punished because you think they have a mental health problem.
Right? So we're talking about the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for decision making, consequences, the pros and cons, weighing them out before making the decision, long-term consequences, like all the things that the prefrontal cortex is responsible for. She hasn't matured into that yet, and won't for another 12 or 13 years.
Prosecutors don't care about that. They want to try her as an adult.
I don't care either. At 12 years old, you're old enough to know not to do that. So y'all be giving these people just sliding boards. At 12 years old, I would have known not to delete an 8-year-old. All of you would have known that. And it goes to show that she knew and it goes to show you that she knew what she was doing after she did the deed, and then try to fix it where there was no evidence of her doing it. So of course, she might not have this developed frontal lobe, which is a bunch of BS right now in this situation, but she had enough damn sense to know what she was doing is wrong, because if it wasn't wrong, why would she try to hide it? Why would she try to rearrange the body? Why would she try to make it look like she didn't do it if she thought she was doing right? That little girl knew what she was doing, and she should be tried as an adult, okay? I don't want to hear nothing about, well, she don't know about long-term consequences. Well, she about to learn, damn it. She about to learn. For real.
They want to try her as an adult, but who she is at 12 will not be who she is at 24.
One more thing, then I'm gonna let it ride out. Who she is at 12 is not who she's gonna be at 24. But let me tell you this, lady. Who that little 8-year-old infant was will never be anything at 24, because it's over for the 8-year-old infant. There's no 9, there's no 10 years of age, there's no 12, there's no 13, and there's no 24. Why? Because that 12-year-old that you're defending for taking a person's baby life at 8 won't be here to make it to 20-something. Now I'm done.
30, 40, like literally her brain is not fully matured, right? And so I personally and professionally don't think she should be tried as an adult. I think there is a desensitization that's taking place with the social media and all that good stuff, where she may know, like, I want to kill her, but you don't know the gravity and the long-term impact of your decision. And
I can't believe all these damn sliding boards. Look here. Just the fact that you can say that a 12-year-old has the ideal of, I want to end someone. You're going to explain it away to social media. It's all desensitized, yeah, whatever. But the fact that she had that ideal to do so, you can't say she should be held accountable for that.
So I don't know that trying her as an adult is fair.
And before we get to you, Lewis, one of the issues I have here is when we as a society, all of us, covet a phone.
Oh my God.
It's a electronic device, but in this case, we're willing, allegedly, to kill for it.
Absolutely.
And adults are even worse.
We see it even in toddlers. The phone is like a deity now. It's like a god to a lot of these younger kids where...
A Bible where the Bible never could get in our hands.
That's a word. I love that. Absolutely. It is sending them into a tizzy, and we have to pay attention to this because not only is it the phone, like what are they watching? In researching this, I just randomly decided to just scroll Instagram and came across 5 murders or clips that were leading to a murder before it got cut off. We shouldn't be exposed to this on a daily. Like, we shouldn't have access to this, and we're adults. So think about an adolescent or a child.
I would like to know what's going on with the gluteus maximus cortex part of this kid. How many ass whoopings has this kid gotten leading up to this? There had to have been a discipline issue leading up to this. This just does not happen, overnight. And so I would really like to know, what sort of discipline. I think discipline is a big issue.
Yeah.
Lazy parenting. I think cell phones has a lot to do with lazy parenting. You throw them a phone or a tablet, they're out of your hair for a while. You can watch whatever reality show or whatever you're into on television. You get some quiet time for yourself. I know that they charged this child with, or from what I understand, they've charged her with first-degree murder. But like I said, like she said, there's a lot of talk right now as to whether or not you can charge this young lady. And it's become real unpopular over the last 20 years for judges to prosecute young children as adults. And as a result, the way that the statistics read is as though juvenile crime has gone down. But I think that the reality is that not as many of them are being prosecuted because it affects the professional resume of a judge who may want to move on to higher elected positions.
All right. We want to thank you guys for joining us here on The Factor.
Yes. I tell you what, man. Y'all can make all the excuses you want to make. At the end of the day, I think the child should be tried as an adult. That's my opinion. Do what you want to do. But put yourself in the position of the mother or the father, the brother or the sister, and ask yourself, would you still feel the same way if you were in their shoes? You know what I mean? It's a tragic thing, yeah, but that child owes a debt to society, and I think it needs to be fulfilled. Well, anyway, you let me know what you think about this. I'll be talking to y'all pretty soon. Yeah, and like I always say, excuse me, y'all. Yeah, I'm sorry, my thing got frozen up. Anyway, y'all take it easy and y'all be safe now, you hear?